Ramadan and the Quran, a blessed moment. The holy month of Ramadan had begun. It was a peaceful night, and inside a small house, a heartwarming scene was taking place. An elderly father, with a white beard and a face full of wisdom, sat on a prayer mat with his two children, Hassan and Fatima. In front of them lay an open Quran, its golden letters gleaming under the soft glow of the lamp. The father took a deep breath and began reciting in a slow, melodious voice.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان.
The month of Ramadan is the one in which the Quran was revealed, as a guidance for mankind and clear proofs of guidance and criterion between right and wrong.
Al-Baqarah 185.
Hassan and Fatima sat quietly, listening intently. Their father's voice carried a sense of tranquility, filling the room with an unexplainable peace. As he recited, it felt as though the words of the Quran were reaching deep into their hearts. After completing the verse, the father closed his eyes for a moment, as if absorbing its meaning. He then gently looked at his children and asked, "Do you know why Ramadan is so special?" Fatima, with curiosity in her eyes, said, "Because we fast, right?" The father smiled warmly. "Yes, we fast. But do you know what makes Ramadan truly special?" Hassan thought for a moment and then asked, "Is it because of the Quran?" The father nodded. "Exactly. Ramadan is not just the month of fasting. It is the month of the Quran. It was in this blessed month that Allah sent down His final revelation to guide humanity. That is why we should recite it more, understand it deeply, and apply it in our lives." Then the father turned the pages of the Quran and recited another verse.
إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر.
Indeed, we have sent it, the Quran, down in the night of decree.
Al-Adr 1.
Fatima's eyes widened with interest. "Father, what is Laylatul Qadr?" The father's expression became gentle yet serious. "Laylatul Qadr, my dear, is the most blessed night of the year. It is the night when the Quran was first revealed. Worship on this night is better than 1,000 months. Imagine, a single night's prayers and recitation are more rewarding than 83 years of worship." Hassan, now deeply engaged, said, "I want to stay awake and recite the Quran on Laylatul Qadr. I want to earn those rewards." The father patted his son's head proudly. "That's the spirit, my son. But remember, it's not just about reading the Quran, it's about living by it." Then, Hassan eagerly asked, "Can I recite a verse, father?" The father nodded encouragingly. Hassan carefully traced his fingers along the lines of the Quran and recited,
ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
"And recite the Quran slowly and clearly."
Al-Muzammil 4.
The father smiled and said, "MashaAllah, that verse teaches us to recite the Quran beautifully, with reflection and understanding. The more we ponder upon its words, the more guidance we receive." Fatima, feeling inspired, picked up the Quran and began reciting softly. Her voice was pure and innocent, and soon, the room was filled with the melodious rhythm of the Quran. The outside world seemed to disappear as the family became immersed in the divine words. Outside, the cool breeze of Ramadan night whispered through the trees. The crescent moon shone brightly, as if it, too, was listening to the beautiful recitation inside the house. The atmosphere was filled with an indescribable peace, a peace that only the Quran could bring. As the recitation continued, the father's heart swelled with gratitude. He knew that this moment was a reflection of the true essence of Ramadan, coming closer to Allah through His words, teaching the next generation about the importance of the Quran, and feeling the deep tranquility that faith brings. That night, long after the recitation ended, the family sat together, talking about the teachings of the Quran and how they could implement them in their daily lives. They made a promise to not only read the Quran but to live by its guidance every day. Moral of the story: this story reminds us that Ramadan is not just about fasting. It is the month of the Quran. It is a time to reconnect with Allah's words, seek His guidance, and bring the light of the Quran into our hearts and actions.